Konya wakirani na kubeka mabati ya makia obuna, chiriges, plane sheets, valleys, batchboards, screws, nebin.
Aya na yatekire chinga keche imeya KCTV.
Chitariki ni 15 umutenye no yogatano na gatatu mwaka no yobwechirubera 25 mwancho muligerinde no kwege nambu yole andonsia sole na gukwanire nabigo gukwarigani ko yanyora ya tekire Chinsa Ikomi cha bono mubaso litirane serious nyakundi na go sabirobe na Chinsa Ikomi elio.
Aya na yatekire chinga keche imeya KCTV.
Go chaka haya tikire Chinsa Ikomi cha bono mubaso nigo habarai na boigo habajumbe Wikiama kia UDA na boigo ODM nigo baba bagokora igikaro kunenchera ya moyo gukwanera haimirobelio ye byamebyo gukwana asensemo ya kareni asumusangerekano yo bagokorawa no muraibenso muske wira muruto na boigo homuraibe kiama kia ODM Raila Odinga omuraibense ho muske ruto ni gatebuguna nabegeto mukia sokwene kibuna koletara muncheria haigaime ya Kenya.
That we have a nation to look after and we have a nation to protect. And there are options that are available to us. And I think we chose to protect the nation called Kenya by our coming together. And so I want to commend both the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and the ODM party, my former party, for standing up to be counted when the country needed leaders to stand up for Kenya. It may have been easy to do the opposite. It may have been popular to do the opposite. I know many people have vilified the Honorable Raila Odinga and the ODM party for the decision they took to stand for Kenya when there was need to do so. And let me say the following as the President of Kenya today. We have come from very far as a nation. We stand here today as a robust democracy, a nation that is making strides in our national development. And I want to speak to you candidly. I don't have a written statement because I really wanted to speak to you from my heart. Because, and by God's grace, I have, out of the 5 people who have become presidents in Kenya, I am one of them. 5 Kenyans who have had the opportunity to lead this country. That a nation, the progress, the destiny of a nation
Inga kichicho homuraibi kiama kia ODM muske Raila Odinga nigo hate birubuna ugo chamo gatia ye no muraibenso muske William Ruto no kwene kibuna wa Kenya konyora bale hamagendro na boigo koleto botereru haigeme ya Kenya chinga kichicho Odinga ni gerabuna na chikwendera kumusira homuraibense asense muyaye homukonyi bumuraibense Professor Kithure Kindiki ho yubo ikirana somo sangrekaniyo ni gaherera hobuya bwebyama go chamo
24, that last year, you understood that the dark clouds that were gathering over Kenya could have been exciting, but they could also mark the end of Kenya. We decided that it is better to have an imperfect country that is struggling to mend its ways than to have a collapsed one. We came together to create an environment in which we can discuss our issues and differences as people of one nation. African leaders are very from their own collapsing countries to discuss issues they cannot discuss at home. We go together to spare Kenyan that shame. Our object was and remains one, as one U.S. Senator called it, our country, our whole country, and nothing but our country.
The country is generally and gradually forming the national consensus that we are looking for. And therefore, for me, the lesson I pick, even looking at the leadership that has spoken here, those who have felt that perhaps they need space to show their leadership skills, yet feel their background, their religion, their ethnicity disadvantages them. What the two large parties have shown us, UDA and ODM, under President Ruto and His Excellency Raila Odinga, is that those who have felt to be in the periphery, your stakes and your interests are better catered in large national parties. It is possible in a large national party to realize your dream, your potential, and your skills to be tapped than otherwise. And therefore, going forward, as we form coalitions and build our respective parties, let us look towards building national parties as opposed to sectarian parties.
Oscar Mutwigati yabarukiwa nkorwa Seji University aigemeye nseni ko baruru kubolia gocha serikali kweneki bunankuligerelia rubujia homurobeli moya bokuru gusira gocha sobarukiwa University ho New University Funding Model asabarukiwa bo batebri buno murobeli yo ni gogendete koroki ogotutukano anena soko bonerelia habarukiwa bali bakuru chinka chitari kwenyara.
Funding model that is being used right now, it has a lot of problems. In terms that most of us, we are placed in the bands that we are no longer belonging. The governments go and recheck the information for all the students. If possible, watuambie, we reapply so that we give the correct information, they place us in the correct bands, and we receive the correct scholarships and help loans so that we can be able to succeed in our education.
We are asking the government to lower the tuition fees in order to provide us education and also to increase the government funding for public universities to improve the infrastructure. They want to also to increase the scholarships and grants for students in need. We are going to ask the government to include student representatives in the education policy discussions and decision making.
Hawa vijana wanataka kusaidiwa, wanataka usaidizi kutoka kwa national ama county government. Hatufai kuwa at the 21st century kuna mtoto na drop out of school sababu ya wazazi kukosa school fees.
Go tiganana yo kuboliwa nigo kwa rurwe gochasi chiamate kwene kibona nkubatiranikire abagaka unenjere yamo yo gukora chisegi chiegenka ukwana chinga kecho nigo yararekanirwa n'abagaka no bogendete ko muchigwa anene haso gwikirana ibikoro ebyo asibonere bya kubwatirani bunenjere yamo yo gukora ibikoro ebyo.
Katika hizi awareness zetu tumekuwa na community dialogues, tumekuwa na barazas, tumekuwa na engagement na gatekeepers.
Nimekuja hapa kwa lengo la kick out GBV. GBV ni kitu ambayo inafanyika sana huko mtaani kwetu, lakini sana sana tunasema ni wasichana. But sasa tunaona ni both boys and girls. Tumekuja hapa as we kick the ball, we know that we kick GBV.
Wengi wamekuwa wakisema kuwa gender based violence, wengi ukitaja gender, wengi wanafikiria kuwa ni kina mama peke yake. sisi wanaume pia tunadhulumika wakati mwingine. Kwa hivyo tunataka mashirika kama haya yakiwa yanapeana nasaha kama hii, ijumuishe, ihamasishe kuwa gender based violence ni kina mama.
Gos kamutweni go yarorekanira buna abasubati bali bakoibora hanene abasubati b'emyaka emeke nigo bagendete konyora omuchando munene Chinsa kibayiboire asikiri bagotabuna nigo ebikoro ebyo bikoretwa hanene korwa sabasacha babo bakobaumbi Chinsa kibayiboire abagwatani abo bagendete kurugusira guchasa abasubati abo nigo barurokoboria guchasa bagakabo kwane kichimbo chingiye guchasa abatubati babo Chinsa kibayiboire anena sokubasira anene bunenchera yemo yogokoro muchando obwo bongo.
To feel it is very important because even the people who are assisting us to carry the victims to the vehicles were the public. And you know, when you have a victim who has been involved in an accident, there is a way you need to carry this patient to the hospital, which we didn't have any of the equipment because, you know, we were coming from different directions. But ideally, even the public must have the first aid training so that they know. And they are the people who can also cause chaos at the scene of accident and confusion. So I think it's important that, and especially this area of Coptic, where we have observed so many accidents happening, I think it will be prudent for people around that area to be trained on emergency and first aid. Equally, just the same way we have felt that we needed this session, it is also important maybe for the area chief or sub-chief or the county heads to organize for that, and at the scene of accident, maybe people can assemble there, then they can also talk about how they feel. And because most of them were also complaining about the roundabout and the many accidents that are happening around that area. So I think it will also be
na sorobotoro mwanchumuligereria nongoja kurira yatikire Chinsa isano na ibere chabona boso kulende chikoraga Chinsa Ikomi ningira nengomanya senchera yu gwingiritirane sera sinyakunde na go sabiro twarubuligereria urubuya.